what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Austin Salem here. First of all, the reason I'm being a little bit quiet is because my wife and daughter just went to sleep, and also it's around 12:02 a.m. During the time of this recording. But I seriously got to get some soundproof foam shit, those soundproofing wall things in this room. That way nobody can hear me, and then I can be as loud as I want to during this time. But with that being said, today's video is not a reaction video. It's not even a trailer reaction. This is a review. So I just got done watching the new 2024 vampire film or vampire flick, Abigail, and oh my god, wow, what an amazing goddamn film! First off, what an amazing vampire movie. Literally, the acting, the writing, the kill scenes, the action sequences, everything about this movie was just off the chain and just very well done. This movie has Melissa Burr, Dan Stevens, Alicia Ware, Catherine Newton, Kevin Durand, who amazingly actually voices Proximus Caesar in the new Planet of the Apes film, in Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. You got Angus Cloud, Giancarlo Esposito, and oh my god, we're not going to talk about this last person, okay? We will talk about him towards the end of the video, because oh my god, I can't even. So this film, which by now everybody's seen it, so if you guys haven't seen it yet, click out the video because there's gonna be a lot of spoilers. So this film is basically an entire crew of would-be criminals, or people, sorry guys, I lost my train of thought there. So this film is about a group of people who know nothing about each other. They don't know each other's names, don't know their backstories, anything like that, and they're just picked together by this character named Lambert, who's played by Giancarlo Esposito, and he basically hires them all to come to this guy's house, kidnap his daughter, and take her to this mansion in the middle of God knows where, and just keep her there for 24 hours and basically stay there the entire night. They're not allowed any cell phones, any television privileges, anything like that. They're not allowed any connection with the outside world because of tracking or anything like that. And basically just told, stay there for 24 hours and you'll get, $50 million, and you guys can split it evenly. So what starts off as this is they're not allowed to have any interaction with this little girl, other than Melissa Barrera's character, Melissa Barrera's character, Joey. I think I got her name right. So Joey's the only one that's allowed in the room with the child, and basically, goes in there, check on her, make sure she's okay, and they basically makes the promise to keep her safe until they're let out after 24 hours. Well, oh my god, this movie, what goes from a simple kidnapping operation goes south in about maybe 15-20 minutes of the film. And oh my god, when this shit hits the fan, they find out that the daughter, whom they kidnapped, they find out that his father is this very well-known crime lord of sorts, who basically controls a whole bunch of shit, everything from crime, just everything. He has this big ass empire, and um, basically he's a very well known guy. And um, Dan Stevens' character Frank is absolutely terrified of this guy for some reason, and what you find out why. Um, and he basically just goes ape shit and doesn't want to stay there, doesn't want to be a part of it, but tries to escape. So um, later on in the movie, they all find out what's going on, and basically that this girl is a vampire. Okay, they go to interrogate her and torture her, and after one of their own after Angus Cloud's character Dean is killed. Um, so they go to interrogate her, torture her, um, do whatever they have to do to figure out a way out. And what ends up happening is she basically breaks out of breaks. He should break first of all. She breaks her goddamn hands, or breaks her hands out of position, and pulls her hands out of the chain, and then stands up, does this little Batman Dracula type reveal thing, and just starts screaming, and the freaking teeth, man, oh my god, the prosthetics that they use for this movie, from the teeth to the injuries that they have, it's just, oh my god, so fucking amazing. But basically from there on, they're just trying to stay alive because there's this 12-year-old or centuries old vampire little girl running around and basically wanting to kill everybody. So I'm not going to get into the whole story because there's a whole lot that goes on. We will get into some of my favorite parts, obviously. Fuck it, we'll get into it. We'll get into it all. We might as well. But basically, from then on, they're trying to find a way out. They're trying to, keep away from this girl, and or trying to sedate her, so that they can figure out what to do with her. And everything they tried, so anything that you guys know about vampires, garlic, stake through the heart, well, steak, yeah, a couple things that you guys need to know is that this is not a typical fucking vampire movie. So in Lost Boys, when Lost Boys first came out, that was my first introduction into vampire movies, and also my first introduction into Corey Feldman, before I watched Goonies. And they actually use garlic or a garlic bath and holy water to kill the vampires. So, which is a very fucking gnarly scene. And oh my god, this girl, she looked at the fucking garlic and sniffed it and breathed on it as if it was fucking nothing. Like, she breathed on it as if she was getting as if it was a goddamn fly on her back. Like, it did nothing to her. The only thing that does anything to her in this movie is a fucking syringe with morphine or whatever they used to fucking put her out. Whatever they used to put her out, that was all they could. The sad thing is, they only had one fucking syringe left by this time. So, they're basically just trying to do whatever they can to either get rid of her or use her as leverage to get their lives back. And later in the movie, she basically just tells them, you're not going to get out of my life. You're not gonna get out alive because my father doesn't care about me, and it's, you're not gonna be able to cut a deal with him. So, um, basically what they do is they lock her up after they fought her, and after Sammy, Catherine Newton's character, um, has been bitten, and essentially they lock her up, and she basically just toys with them at this point. She tells them about everything that she knows about them. Like, she names them all by name. I can't even get into their names. I know that Sammy's real name that we find out that her name is Jessie, as in Jessica. So she basically names all them by name, says tells them all their own backstories, and basically she knows about their family, she knows about their kids, and what they've done. And come to find out, the reason that they're all there is basically she orchestrated this whole thing. She orchestrated the kidnapping. Lambert, Giancarlo Esposito's character, Lambert, works for this Abigail character, and he basically hired them all because they had stolen from her father, or his empire, to be more exact. And so she's basically just pissed off and just basically toying with him at this point and saying, every one of you is going to die. And then at one point, she says, one of you whoever lets me out, I will let you live. And so Kevin Durant and Melissa Barrera's character, they fight, basically kind of gun-ho, pointing guns at each other. Joey's telling Peter not to open the door because she's just going to kill him, and Peter saying, I'm willing to risk it, and, things like that. So she ends up shooting him, and he doesn't die or anything like that, but she does, nick him enough to get him to give her the gun. And so she's basically just in control of this whole situation at this point. And then Sammy, Joey, and Peter all leave the room. So that, and Frank elects himself to stay behind to keep an eye on Abigail. And so then Abigail tries to cut a deal with him, saying that, I'll tell you where the exit is or how to get out of here if you help me out of here. And so she tells him where the exit is, and which comes to find out she fucking lied to his ass. And basically just they cut this bullshit deal with each other, and she tells him, okay, it's this, and this. And well, she tells him that there's a big go to the library, right hand bookshelf, and then there were none. And that was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen at all. The most hilarious joke I've ever heard a little girl say. And Frank goes, okay, good one. And so he basically, he unlocks it. He goes to the cage, unlocks it, and then locks it back up and calls her gullible, which afterwards, from then on, she freaking just busts the goddamn elevator door open. I know I said cage, but she busts the elevator door open. So this little girl is just basically toying with every one of these guys and gals in this movie, and oh my god, I can't even talk about any more of the movie, because if you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go and watch it, because this movie is just fucking crazy. It's crazy good fun. It's it's a very good, um, I guess, horror film for what it is, and very like a really good vampire movie at the end of the day. But let's talk about my favorite parts of this movie. So my favorite part is one of my favorite parts. My first favorite part is the point when you fall out when you figure out she's a vampire. That whole scene. So what this whole scene when they go in and start arguing, and Abigail is sitting there and she's crying and asking what's going on in the middle of everybody arguing, and she realizes that they're not listening. So what she does is she goes out of character. When she snaps out of character and into busting up her knuckles to get out of the cuffs, that whole scene, the way that it basically just fucking goes from 0 to 100 in about 5 seconds is crazy, because she goes from crying and being upset and scared to, oh, by the way, I'm a vampire. And that was one of the best scenes of this film that I've seen, where just everything, like the chaos with the argument, and then in the middle of the argument, she just undoes the cuffs herself, and oh my god, that was such a good scene. Um, the next good scene that really was really fun for me was after Sammy's character is, sometime after Sammy's character is bitten, and they're in the, I believe they're in the this unfinished part of they're either in an unfinished part of the house, or they're in an attic somewhere. Um, but Sammy and Peter, they split up into teams. So Joey and Frank go in another room, in another place, and Sammy and Peter go into a different direction of the house to find the power box or whatever, so that they can reset the house, and then the house will unlock and they'll get out. Um, so what ends up happening is Sammy, in about probably, I'd say, like a minute of this scene where they're in the attic, um, her wound heals because she gets bit from Abigail. Her wound heals, and then she hears Abigail in her voice, in her head, basically clouding her mind, and then basically just takes over her body, and Sammy's dead. Sammy's dead at this point. Sammy's dead at this point. Um, that whole scene where, basically just Abigail takes the embodiment of Sammy and disappears, does a little dance after killing Kevin Durant's character, and just, oh my god, that scene from the bite, from her biting Peter to her, doing a little, ballet dance with smoke coming off of her. How they did that, I have no idea. But they did it to where, the sun was peeking in through little, pieces of chipped away wood. Um, and Abigail, or Sammy, is in the attic, and she's dancing around, and you see Abigail in a different room in the auditorium doing a dance, and basically using Sammy as a puppet. And so, she does her little dance with the smoke coming off of her, and that was just, oh my god, that was just a really, really good scene. Holy shit. Um, Now, the other scene, the next scene that was one of my favorite, because I got about 4 scenes total. The next scene that was my favorite is the, oh no, 5 scenes. We got to go back. So the third scene, which would have been the first scene, The third scene is when they're all in the bar and playing pool, and Melissa Barrera's character, Joey, she basically is at this scene. She's basically like a fucking profiler because she says what they do for a living, what their backstory is, who they used to be, why they do what they do now, how they act, and basically is just a fucking profiler. Like she works for the goddamn FBI, and they all literally pay her to profile them, and she absolutely does it without hesitation. The first person that she profiles is Frank, and oh my god, oh wow, she basically finds out that he's a cop or a detective, um, but that whole scene, the writing for that scene was so fucking good. The fact that they made this character basically profile every other one of the characters, the writing, the way that the way that everybody acted in this scene, um, just oh my god, wow. Yeah, fast forward. The fourth scene that I really loved, well, not really loved, but it was really well done, is the villain reveal. When you find out who's doing all this, why why they're doing it, and kind of what's going on. The plot thickens at this point, or not thickens, but the plot goes even deeper when you find out that Giancarlo Esposito's character Lambert is actually trying to kill Abigail. You find out that he is a vampire, that Abigail turned him because I guess him and Frank were working together, and she finds out about it, so she kills him and then threatens to kill his family. And so he basically has been this whole time just behind the scenes bringing in groups of people so that they can be killed off by Abigail, so that his family can stay alive. And so he basically has just had enough, and he wants to kill Abigail. He wants to kill Lazar, which is Abigail's father, or Dracula. Basically wants to kill them both so he can take over the empire and just rule everything, and take the money, all that, and basically just wants to get rid of Abigail so that his family can be safe, which is understandable. So what he does is, Frank is pissed that he lies to him, so Lambert offers him a deal and says, join me as a vampire or one of the undead, and you will, we can take out Abigail together, and you can have whatever the fuck you want. And so he does that, and turns Frank. And now the transformation scene, oh my god, the transformation, or Dan Stevens, or Frank's transformation scene. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is one of the bloodiest scenes I've ever seen in my life. I mean, there's two extremely gory scenes in this film. So if you're squeamish, don't watch this. But oh my god, the way that he kind of convulses, and then he's puking up blood, and he just fucking vomits all this blood out, and then grows his teeth. Just that whole transformation from him being human into vampire, and him just dying and then being reborn. Oh my god, bro. Really? Holy shit! Like I have never seen a vampire movie with this much gore in it. I've never seen a vampire movie that has been this gutsy and witty and just thrilling. Like, oh my god, there's so many good points that I can't even name. Like, I can't even tell you all of them because this is just a fucking wild movie. Um, but yeah, so that whole scene was just fucking amazing. Um, now we get to my all-time fucking favorite scene, the finale of this film. Oh my god. Radio silence. I love you guys. I'm just gonna say this right now. I love you guys. So, we're gonna go my favorite scene of all time in this movie. Or of this entire film. I don't know why I said of all time. Of this entire film is Dracula's reveal. Oh my god. So when Joey is about to leave, she is confronted by Dracula himself, or Lazar. Um, she's confronted by Dracula's hand grabbing her, right? And Dracula turns her around, and she's frightened. She's fucking collapses, right? So when she falls on the floor and is backing up from him, and you see the legs, and the camera pans up. Matthew Good, are you kidding me? Matthew Good is in this film. Matthew Good is Dracula in this movie, and oh my god, what a more fitting person to play Dracula himself. I mean, you could have chosen, Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt from fucking, or even I don't remember the guy's name from or you could have even fucking chosen Gerard Butler. You couldn't even chosen him because he was Dracula in Dracula 2000, I think. Yeah. Um but you guys chose one of the best people to play a vampire I have ever had the opportunity / honor of watching, because Matthew Good, if you don't know why I'm so excited, so there is a series that's out there that I'm almost finished with. I'm on the third season now. I'm about halfway through it. Um, there's a show out there that is fucking phenomenal show. Um, and it's on AMC Plus. Discovery of Witches. It's got Teresa Palmer and Matthew Good in it, and it's basically about a witch and a vampire falling in love, and it's just this whole war between vampires, witches, and demons that's been going on, and more importantly, the vampires and witches. But Matthew Good plays one of the main characters in there, Marcus, who is a vampire. And hey, what's going on, you guys? Whoa, sorry, Austin from the future. So this part that you just saw, I made a very horrible and very embarrassing mistake. The character's name in Discovery of Witches that I'm talking about that Matthew Good plays, his name is not fucking Marcus. It's Matthew de Clermont. And I feel horrible about getting his name wrong. Past Austin, you should be fucking ashamed of yourself because that's not his goddamn name. And as much as you love this series, you should fucking know that. But anyway, I'm going to get you guys back to the video. Here you go, Past Austin. Oh my god. To have Matthew Good playing a vampire in a vampire film, let alone a TV series. Oh my god, bro. I can't. I can't with you guys. Like, you guys picked the perfect person to play Dracula, and who better to do it than Matthew Good? Like, oh my god, that whole character reveal, the reveal of Dracula himself, and the whole atmosphere. You can just literally feel the emotion from Joey in this film. Like, oh my god. But yeah, everything from the action to the everything from the fight sequences to the kill scenes, to the villain reveals, the plot details, everything was just so good. Even including the writing, because these actors delivered. I commend I literally I compliment every single one of them. Melissa Barrera, Dan Stevens, Will Catlett, Catherine Newton, um, Giancarlo Esposito, Matthew Good, just everyone. All of you guys did a fucking phenomenal job with the acting and the writers. Oh my god, you guys really knocked it out of the park with this one. Um, what can I say about this film? I'm gonna go out on a limb here. This is something I've never done before. My rating of this film is a 10 out of 10. Because the writing, the scenes, the cinematography, the kill scenes, the action is just a fucking amazing thrill ride that I was just happy to be a part of. Um, Damn, so good. I really enjoyed this film, you guys. Like I said, I rarely ever give a film a 10 out of 10. I really do. So, you guys consider this a compliment. You guys got Radio Silence, Melissa Barrera, um, Dan Stevens, everybody. You guys consider this a compliment that I gave you guys a 10 out of 10. So, but with that being said, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, subscribe button to get notified every time I upload a video or every time I go live, whichever comes first. And don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below what you thought of today's video, or today's movie review. And also, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. I already said that. And don't forget to follow my socials down below. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. So, I'm going to get out of here and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.